America's Mattress Live Tower Cam is, certainly a little calmer than it was earlier on in the day, partly because, it's nighttime and clear skies at the moment. A little bit of clouds, a little bit of rain coming our way very shortly, though. It's humidity, very high. You felt it throughout the day. A little bit of moisture in there, a little bit of ichor, it's the word for it. 48 right now. Not too much winds and not too much, again, dew point kind of up. And again, we've gone before that 5 o'clock mark for sundown now, so less and less daylight as we approach the solstice in December. Only 1 degree above average, right? Still haven't seen a below average day since October 29th, so we're keeping our streak going. 43 was our AM low, though. Very warm compared to where we should be because of those clouds, kind of keeping that heat with us at the surface. So warm for most of us, right? 37 in Montrose overnight, 42 in Delta, 29 over in Gunnison. But we warmed up into those 50s as we went throughout the day. 50 in Montrose, 55 in Delta, 46 over in Aspen. So there's one of our lowest outside of Carbondale, of course, which was exactly at freezing earlier on today. So our satellite radar tells us that rain we were just speaking about previously, right? It's hanging out still down towards Nucla and the southern portion of the Uncompahgre. It's making its way north slowly but surely. This is a cutoff low pressure system. That's why it's moving so slow. It's away from those stronger winds in the upper atmosphere. And what that means is that we're getting a lot of rain over towards the eastern side of the divide and snow along I-70 in those more mountainous areas that could definitely affect your weekend travel. We're not expecting too much more, right? We've already gotten the majority of it, but still another inch or two in Aspen. Again, those high areas could see a lot more snow. And we're hanging around ½ an inch to around 10 inches, kind of is in range where majority of that dark blue area is right now. And so look, these next couple of days, we're going to start to dry out. We're on the back end of this because these two low pressure systems cut off from the main upper level flow. You see that, it's in the blue up there, barely on the screen. They're starting to move out of the area, right? And this zone of high pressure over towards the Pacific coast is getting closer and closer towards us. What that means is we're still going to see, a couple degrees above average weather for the next couple of days before we have a big cool down next week. 44, mostly cloudy skies right now in Montrose. Again, a lot of humidity, 82% right now. We got about ½ of an inch of rain, the majority of which in Grand Junction was earlier on around midnight, early this morning, continued on a little bit further. Similar in Glade Park, but relatively dry on the rain front for most of the eastern portion of our viewing area. So let's look at our futurecast, right? Some of that snow is going to kind of hang around as we get into these evening hours here, but once you get into early tomorrow morning, clouds keeping us in those 40s and mid 30s. But we are going to start to lose that precipitation. I still have a 20% chance in the morning here in the Grand Valley, but for the most part, I expect it to remain dry. And we're going to warm back into those 50s, right? Because you're going to see a lot of sunshine in the afternoon as those clouds kind of start to leave the area. Overnight lows kind of those mid to upper 30s. So starting to cool down a little bit more in those evenings as we lose that cloud cover over these next couple of days. Saturday, getting those 50s once again. So a nice weekend is coming up. In terms of rainfall totals, we're not expecting that much more, right? Well below a 1/10 of an inch. But we saw those light sprinkles. They are on the way. Do expect a spare sprinkle here or there in the Grand Valley and maybe even down towards Montrose too as we head into these next couple of hours here, but then it's just gone completely as we get into the weekend. So let's talk about Thanksgiving, right? That's coming up very, very soon, only a week away. And here's kind of a reference point for what we should be seeing, right? Hang out in those 40s for the most part, and lows, look at those. Starting to get a lot chillier than what we've seen here in the Grand Junction, right? This is kind of where we're headed, though. A big cool down is coming next week. And it starts, around Tuesday. We're starting to see those highs of only 47 degrees. So after a very nice weekend with a lot of sunshine, we get to a very cool Thanksgiving. 45 will be your temperature on Thursday, and then 27 overnight. You're starting to get more and more of those sub-freezing conditions here in the Grand Valley. We're already seeing those in Montrose. Look at that, 29 overnight Saturday into Sunday. So a little bit of hang on to some warmth until we start to cool down next week, just in time to make Thanksgiving chilly.